Rama Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Jai Maharaj, Rama, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. सभी लोग एक साथ हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा सभी गाइए आखिरी 5 मिनट सभी गाइए हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे संकीर्तन यज्ञ की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय।
Hare Krishna. Can all be seated, please? We welcome everyone to today's most awaited Prerana festival. Haribo. So thank you for taking out your time and reaching out here and making this choice of coming to this event. So we have a lot of power-packed series of succession of events waiting for all of us. So are you all ready? So we are going to begin today's event by a very exciting drama prepared by the students of IIT Kharagpur. So the drama is entitled Chris Matthews, Prison House to Prison Ministry. So this is a very exciting drama. So I appeal all of you to pay your kind attention and take the best benefit of it. And followed by the drama will be a power-packed session by our special guest, His Holiness Devamrita Swami Maharaj. And then we'll have few announcements, and then the further things will proceed. So let's all tune in to today's event and welcome the drama team with a big round of applause.
We have got, I cannot imagine, such a great blessing that I have come to the shelter of Srila Prabhupada. My dear friend, I read the books that were given by Srila Prabhupada and they were having such great knowledge. But I am really hurt to see that so many libraries all around the world, they do not have Prabhupada's books. I want that every library must have Srila Prabhupada's books.
Nice. How will you do that?
I don't know. I have to think. I don't even have the money. What to speak of manpower? But I have one thing, that I have got a great conviction that Krishna, He is the Supreme Lord. He will protect, He will maintain us, He will give us the guidance.
Did you remember Chandrasekhar Das? I introduced you previously.
I think so, I remember him.
Here is the Chandrasekhar Das.
Oh my God, Chandrasekhar Das, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nice to meet you. Hare Krishna. How are you, Chris? I am doing good. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, actually, I was just sharing with my friend. We want that there should be Prabhupada's book everywhere, all around the world, in all the libraries. Can you help us?
Yes, I am very glad to inform you that we got an opportunity to preach in a nearby region. So, can you come with us?
Oh, really? That's a great opportunity. Let us take it as soon as possible. This is Krishna's mercy. I said Krishna will give us the opportunity. Hari Bol! Let's go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Today we have Chris with us. So, Chris, do you want to share something about your life?
Yeah, I'm really very excited. So I got this glad opportunity to be with all of you. I am so happy that I am with Chandrasekhar Das here today. I am blessed that I got this opportunity, but I want to share this opportunity with you all. You know, I want to talk about my own life. It goes something like this. How about let me explain you how it all began. Let's come along with me. I'll show you how.
Chris and his friends are dancing in a party, enjoying drugs, drinks, dancing, etc. One of his friend enters.
Hey Chris! Hooray! I have got it! I got the nectar!
What nectar are you talking about?
Morphine! The nectar, it will take us to heaven within seconds. And we will go to infinity.
What? Hey! My God! It is so addictive. It's written on the label.
Hey, because my man, you see, you are 1 year junior than me. You don't know this stuff. You will live 4 years in college. What will tell your wife if she asks what you did in your college? We have 4 years. We will enjoy. I will show you the light and take you beyond. Come with me.
Okay, come.
And everyone starts injecting drugs into their blood. They start falling in trance one by one, asking for more and more. And this becomes a daily routine. Scene 2. All friends are enjoying and walking on a road with their wine bottles in hand. One ISKCON devotee comes and starts showing them books.
Hey, you Baba, get out of her way. What are you doing this?
Wait. This looks something like soul stuff. Where did you? Is this about soul or something?
Yes.
I like soul. I want to be like soul.
You
soul.
can take this.
Yeah?
You can take this.
Well, how much is it?
It costs 30 cents.
30 cents. Okay, take this money. Thank you.
Hey Chris, what rubbish you are doing? Why are you wasting your time? You know we are young people. What is our motto? आज करो सो कल करो सो परसों. ये सब में क्या रखा है? हमको जीना है बरसों. This is for old people, man. What is this?
It's okay, man. Let's go. Yeah, hurry go.
Scene 3. Chris is at his home and tried to read the book but could not concentrate and wanted to take some drugs, but nothing was there at his home. So he's just acting crazy. Looked at his purse, but it was empty. he becomes more frustrated and started screaming and scratching his body and hairs.
Oh my God. I'm not able to read this book. My body is aching. My God.
His parents enters.
Give me more morphine. I can't live without it. What the hell?
What happened to you?
Father,
What happened to you?
kill me.
Doctor? I need to call doctor. Wait, what is this? Drugs? You are addicted to drugs. I need to call a doctor. Oh Jesus, please help him. I need to call a doctor. Doctor,
Yes.
please come.
Kill me.
He's addicted to drugs.
Man.
Oh, your son is addicted to morphine.
Please save him. He's addicted.
Kill me,
Your
please.
son is addicted to morphine. It is very dangerous for his life. I have prescribed some medicines for him. Only Lord can save him.
Oh Jesus, please save him.
My God.
Scene 4. Chris is with his friends.
Hey, John.
Hey, Chris.
You know what happened yesterday? I was very, very miserable. Do you have drugs?
Drugs? I have some stock. But for you, my friend, I have something. Like I have this much.
I want whatever you have. Please give me. I can't stay without it. Come on.
Take it, take it.
Oh, yeah. What? This much? This will not even last 1 hour. I want more.
Hey, man. Drugs, these are not some cheap drug. It takes money. Go bring me some money, then we'll buy it together.
Money I don't have.
What?
What means? You're my friend. Come on, give me more.
Hey, you see, our relationship, money should not come. You know? So if you want drug, you should get money. You're smart, bro. You're smart.
Man, money? Money from where? What will I do to get money?
I don't care. You go rob some man, do something. But don't come without money. Bye.
Hey, my friend.
Scene 5. Chris with a knife in hand attacked a rich man and robbed him and makes a cut on his arm. He does this like to 2 to 3 persons and went and purchased drugs and takes very high doses which he could not tolerate and was immediately shifted to ICU and was somehow saved.
Chris, you are saved now by the Lord's mercy. If you are not stopping these things, you will soon die.
What? Why did you save me? You fool! You what? I want to die. I don't want to live. I don't want to live. I don't want to live. I don't want to live.
Hey, you thief! Come to prison now. You should drop in prison now.
Oh my God. What have come to? I thought I'm a good man. I'm living a good life. I did my robbery. I am actually now addicted. But I don't want to live like this. Oh God, if you are there really, please help me. What kind of suffering I'm going through? I'm so miserable now. Who is going to help me? Who is going to help me? Oh man, I'll do something. Whatever I get, I will do something to get God in my life. Somewhere. Maybe that policeman. Hey, do you have some spiritual books?
You can have one of these.
Okay. Thank you.
In this way, Chris started reading and studying all the available religious literatures available in the prison. He practiced a handful of meditations and astral projection techniques. He studied Islam, Buddhism, Kabbalah, Christianity, Advaita Vedanta, anything available through various prison ministries, and almost turned his prison cell into an ashram. He started spending several hours in meditation on the impersonal concept of truth. But he was not satisfied. He could not get the peace of mind. He was always feeling as if something is missing, something is not fulfilling him. His frustration was not reducing at all, but he quickly learned that trying to still the mind is, as Arjuna said, impractical and unendurable, for the mind is restless and unsteady.
God help me.
After years of trying the techniques Krishna describes in chapter 6 of the Bhagavad Gita, he threw up his hands. Despite all his studies and practices, he was still miserable. Nothing helped him.
God, please help me. Please help me. Please give me some way by which I can come to you. Oh God.
It is said that when someone is sincerely desiring to get Krishna, he sends his representatives to him.
God, please.
Chris hears Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare
Found a
Krishna,
prisoner
Hare
chanting,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Wait,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Where
Hare
is the sound
Krishna,
coming
Krishna
from?
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Who
Rama,
is this speaking?
Hare Rama,
have to
Hare
see.
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hey!
Don't beat me!
Where did you get this mantra?
Yeah, I got this mantra from a devotee.
Devotee?
Yes.
Excellent. Do you know some ISKCON devotee? You have any book?
Yes, I have one book.
Please, can you give me that book?
This book I got from an ISKCON devotee. He brought from Matchless gift store.
Wow.
You can get his number here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
In this way, Chris Matthew came across the address of Chandrasekhar Das of the ISKCON prison ministry. He wrote him and got reply in a month with Bhagavad Gita as it is, beyond birth and death, and the science of self-realization. After this, his life was only in the purports of Srila Prabhupada. They gave him a new life. It was like meeting an old friend.
I'm so lucky now that I got this opportunity to read Srila Prabhupada's book, but I want to share it with everyone. Wow, wonderful. So today we have with all of us here a great opportunity to again connect back to our lost self, which was the hidden treasure which I relished after going through all this turmoil. I hope you like this life, but the main thing that I wanted to share was that it is this Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare. By chanting this Maha Mantra, my life got changed, and so I so desire that all your lives do so happen. Hare Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
So let us all thank the drama team for presenting such a wonderful drama by a big round of applause. So before we move ahead to the next part, let us all introduce the performers. So you can all go to the stage and introduce each of you. Okay? Name and department.
Hare Krishna. So I'd like to introduce all the drama team people. So the drama was Chris Matthew's role was played by myself. My name is Sridhar. I'm from IIT Kharagpur.
Hare Krishna. My name is Devranjan Pramanik. I played the role of Krish's father, and I am from Industrial and System Engineering Department from IIT Kharagpur.
Hare Krishna, my name is Gaurav Bairagi. I am from Department of Mathematics, Mathematics and Computing, and I played the role of John.
Hi, my name is Aditya Ashok. I am from the Department of AI and I played the role of policeman.
Hare Krishna, my name is Nitish Kumar. I am from Department of CSE. I played the role of Chandrasekhar.
Hare Krishna, my name is Suvendu. I played the role of doctor and I am from Electronics and Communication Engineering, IIT Kharagpur.
Hare Krishna, my name is Dhruv and I played the role of narrator and I am from the Civil Engineering Department, IIT Kharagpur.
Hare Krishna. My name is Rudransh Gautam. I played the role of a robed person. I'm also from Civil Department of IIT Kharagpur.
Hare Krishna, my name is Ravindra Kolli. I played the role of prisoner devotee and preaching devotee. I am from IIT Kharagpur studying in the applied geology.
We belong to Rameshwaram Seva Kunj boys from IIT Kharagpur. Hari Bol. Guided by Mukundala Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Thank you very much. Now we have arrived at the most awaited moment of today's Prerana festival. So today we have with us His Holiness Devamrita Swami Maharaj. So he will be addressing us on a very, very exciting topic, the pleasure hunt. So we will get a small introduction of His Holiness Devamrita Swami Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. So we would like to invite Maharaj to please come up on the stage. And I would like to give a brief introduction of His Holiness Devamrita Swami Maharaj. Out there in 1970, a divine commander of Srila Prabhupada's army was growing in the University of Yale, in front of whose logical and scientific presentation all arguments turned pale. In first encounter with devotees in New York, along with his life savings, donated his very life. Thus, he became a bomb, exploding all miserable strife. From chief manager at BBT to spreading Krishna consciousness in Eastern communist regime, integrating Vedic solutions to contemporary social situations, his expertise prime. Since 2001, as a member of governing body commissioner and a guru, by his dedication and purity, kindled the spiritual spark in thousands of sleeping souls in Australia and New Zealand. In front of him, no misconceptions can stand. Soaked in Srila Prabhupada books, he is a Chaitanya Charitamrita addict, deep and grave as an ocean. In loyalty to Srila Prabhupada, he is extremely strict. His leadership has blossomed South Africa, Brazil and Gitanagari, Pennsylvania profusely well. His realization, very superbly, his internationally acclaimed books of Searching for Vedic India, Hiding in Unnatural Happiness, Yell. It is such a blessed and legendary moment to have your association divine. Thank you, Maharaj, for being such a holy, spiritual shrine. So let us welcome His Holiness Devamrita Swami Maharaj from the deepest cores of our hearts by loudly chanting Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol!
Tonight we are going to discuss a very serious topic: happiness and pleasure. I know that none of you are interested in this topic. Of course you are. Everyone is seeking satisfaction, happiness, pleasure. But my challenge to you tonight is that, do you really know what is pleasure, what is happiness, what is satisfaction. Whether you're a topper or average or less than average. But I'm here tonight to convince you it's all wrong. As Lord Krishna describes in Bhagavad Gita, the ideas of material happiness and pleasure are a mental concoction. Now, if you're truly with an engineering mind, if you're truly with an IT mind, you can recognize a process of fabrication, a process of manufacturing. This is what the mind has done to us, especially because we've heard from so many others. If you want to be happy, do like this. Satisfied people do like that. Everyone gets pleasure in this way. All those notions have been downloaded into your consciousness, and now your life is pursuing such concoctions. How did I get started with this research and presentation? You see, 35 or 40 years ago, no one studied happiness. There was no happiness science, as it's called today, because the idea was that everyone knows what happiness is. Everyone's happy. So all that scholars studied was depression. Now, in the past 25 years, the understanding has dawned that we don't know what is happiness. We don't know what is pleasure. Recently, at my university, Yale University, as you know, home of all the toppers, a class was offered in happiness because the university leaders were concerned. Do our students really know how to be satisfied and get pleasure? So they decided to offer a trial balloon, a trial course in happiness, expecting that 10 or 20 students would sign up. No, the enrollment kept swelling and swelling and swelling. They had to keep changing the venue for the course from a small seminar room to a bigger classroom to a lecture hall. Finally, they ended up having the course in an arena because 1/4 of the student body had signed up for the course. So they needed an arena to fit 1,000 students in who were concerned. How do we be happy? At another Ivy League school just recently, there was concern. This is University of Pennsylvania. There was a concern. Too many of our students are committing suicide. What to do? So they decided to start their version of a devotee care program. How to care for the students' well-being, mentally, physically, of course, not spiritually. They headhunted for a nationwide expert in student welfare. This is a true story at the University of Pennsylvania. They found one, renowned throughout the USA for expertise in guiding students, solving their mental problems. So they invested, the university invested so much money in establishing this clinic for student well-being, headed by this renowned student welfare expert. Everything was great for 6 months. The students thought, there's hope, there's hope. We can stop this chain of 13 suicides in 2 years. What happened? 6 months later, after the start, on National Suicide Awareness Day, the expert committed suicide. Tragedy, very tragic. So what about you? What are your ideas of satisfaction, pleasure, happiness? Krishna in Bhagavad Gita deals with this subject straight on. We need certain ingredients in our life before we can even think about happiness. The first necessity is connection to Krishna. Now, why Krishna, you might say? Isn't that just some religious idea? But once you understand that you are a particle of consciousness, then you know your mission in life is to reconnect with the Supreme Consciousness. But where do you get that kind of information? You have to decide, are you the body, are you the mind, or something beyond the body and mind? You have to decide, are you beyond physiology and psychology? Is there something about you that is indestructible? Something about you that doesn't change, although the body and mind are always changing. Once you start thinking in this way, then you become focused upon who is Krishna and why. Because the very name Krishna means the source of all pleasure. Now, we think we know so much about happiness and pleasure, especially where I was born. I'm from New York City. They know everything. Born in New York, top of the Ivy League education. How could I not know what is pleasure? What is satisfaction? But Srila Prabhupada's books convince me I don't know anything. That's the first step to success. Who am I? Why am I struggling so hard to be satisfied? What is my real mission in life? If I don't know these things, how can I be said to be intelligent? So in Bhagavad Gita, the 2nd chapter, Krishna tells you that without a connection to the Supreme Consciousness, you'll never understand your own consciousness. And to this day, we can see that the greatest mystery in science is trying to understand what is consciousness, because they don't understand Krishna. I remember my last year at Yale University. Very expensive place. I was a full scholarship student. Costs now over $100,000 a year. So I wanted something different. I told my advising professors when I started my studies that I want to find the solution to all the world's problems. That was my ambition in my first year. And my advisors, my academic advisors told me, you can study whatever you like in the university. That's the real purpose of the university. You don't have to worry about the money. You'll have a Yale degree. You can do whatever you like. So while you're here for 4 years, plunder the university for all it's worth to find a solution to all the world's problems. And then they kind of smiled and said, and if you find a solution, come back and tell us. They knew there's no solution. So after 4 years, I was desperate. I've got to search in other ways to find the solution. Let me study Hinduism, whatever that is. So there was only one problem. The course on Hinduism, taught by a world-famous professor, still world-famous. It met at 8 a.m. in the morning. And as a genuine student of those times, I would never take a class before 11 a.m. Go to sleep at 2 a.m., wake up at 10 a.m., and dash off to class. That was the lifestyle then. But I decided to study Hinduism. I'll make the supreme sacrifice. I'll get up at 7:30, dash off to class. So there I was, 8 a.m. at the class, taught by the world-famous professor, still world-famous. And he gave the assignment. Today, read a section of the Upanishads and write an essay on what you think it means. I said, wait a minute. I don't need to get up early in the morning just to have a professor tell me to speculate. I could do that any time of the day or night, especially at 1 a.m. I said, forget this course. I'm going to get the reading list and study all the books on my own, independent study. So I did that. One of the books was a version of Bhagavad Gita presented by one Englishman. So I took the book to my room and I just leaped through it. It had the verses in the front and his commentary in the back. So I looked at his commentary and I read, Krishna is a concept meant to satisfy the intellectuals as well as the sentimentalists. Something in me, I heard a voice say, slam this book shut and toss it in the rubbish bin. I did that. Into the rubbish bin. And I reacted according to the student consciousness of those times, the early 70s. I reacted saying, this book has been ruined by the British colonizer, the imperialist. One day I'm going to find a real translation written by a native expert. So by Krishna's grace, I never read the book. Who is Krishna? How can there be happiness without understanding Krishna? Now you might think, well, that's just a way a religious person says things. I'm not a religious person. Let me explain. Everything has a source. You would agree, any reasonable person, when you think about it, would agree everything has a source. So what is the source of all pleasure? Pleasure, as the Bhakti texts describe, is an energy. What is the energetic source? You may try to understand what's the source of electricity, what's the source of earth, what's the source of this or that. What about pleasure? Have you ever thought about the source of all pleasure? Once you start thinking about that, then you're starting to understand Krishna. So what does Krishna explain in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita? First, you need a connection to Krishna, just like the part needs a connection to the complete whole. Just like the hand needs a connection to the body. A hand amputated from the body is useless, but when it's attached to the body, it functions normally. Material life means we're amputated artificially from Krishna. We're disconnected from the ultimate source of pleasure, and therefore we have to struggle on our own, independently, tragically, futilely. We try for peace, satisfaction, and pleasure. And for that struggle, we work so hard, right? Even if you're very rich. Anyone here very rich? Don't raise your hand. Even if you're very rich, still it's a struggle. Who's going to take my money? How can I lose my money? Do people really like me, or they just like my money? Just like Bill Gates. Did you know sometimes Bill Gates, just to have real relationships, will go out into the city of Seattle disguised, just so he can mix with people and they treat him like a normal person. Otherwise, you never know. Do they want me just for my money? Is this a real relationship? So he has to disguise himself and go to various events, various social places, just so that he can have normal relationships without people saying, oh, it's Bill Gates. So even if you're wealthy and you think you have everything, still you have to work hard. So Krishna explains, once you connect with Krishna, then the necessary ingredients for satisfaction start to become yours. First, transcendental intelligence. Intelligence beyond matter, beyond the material. Second, a steady mind. What can you do in life without a steady mind? But people don't care if you can control your mind or senses. No one cares about that. How many of you, let's ask the IITians, when you put in your application for IIT, did you see a question? Can you control your mind and senses? Who cares? In fact, what's becoming the dominant mode of thinking is controlling your mind and senses means you have no fun. The best fun is uncontrolled mind and senses. And the pressure is on you. As they say in the Wild West, YOLO, you only live once. And then there's FOMO, fear of missing out. This is peace. But in order to have peace, you have to have transcendental intelligence, a steady mind, and then there can be peace. Once there's peace, then you can start thinking about happiness. But if you try to skip over the prerequisites, if you try to jump over the necessary ingredients, there's no question of happiness. So there must be connection to the ultimate source of pleasure. That is what Krishna consciousness brings. And then you can start gathering the ingredients: transcendental intelligence, steady mind, peace. Finally, then, you can start thinking about happiness. So what is interfering with your so-called happiness? In the graduate study to Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, right after I graduated, I started to read Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. I graduated in May of 72, and then in June of 72, I started reading Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is. And from there, because I got this book at a bookstore, I started ordering Prabhupada's books, all of his books from the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, mail order. Why? Because I didn't want anything to do with devotees. I thought they were strange. But I love the books. I would read Prabhupada's books for 3 hours a day. For 6 months straight. Never going to a temple. Never going to a Prerana. Nothing. I thought these Hare Krishna people are very strange. But I love the books. And then one day, I got a notice in the mail from the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust that the first deluxe Western rendition of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, was now available. I thought, oh, I must have this immediately. The flyer I got in the post said that Srimad Bhagavatam is the encyclopedia of the spiritual world, and that it takes all the themes of Bhagavad Gita and expands upon them. I said, oh, I can't wait 2 weeks for the post to come. I've got to get it now, today. I have to take a risk. I have to go find a devotee. So I went to a big bus terminal where I knew there were devotees. I used to watch them distributing books and walk by very quickly so they wouldn't stop me. So I went looking for a devotee because I wanted Srimad Bhagavatam, but no devotees. I didn't want any devotees. So there was one Mataji. She's still distributing Prabhupada's books in Vrindavan. I walked past her to see, would she stop me? I was looking like a very polished pseudo-enjoyer New Yorker. Long cow killer suede coat. Sai Baba hairstyle. So I walked past her once. She didn't stop me. Twice. This is in a huge bus terminal with 5,000 people running back and forth at all times. Finally, I said, let me approach her. So I walked up to her and asked what I thought was an everyday question, normal question. I said, do you have Srimad Bhagavatam? Now, for someone in New York, in Calcutta, that's nothing unusual. But New York City in 1972, someone walks up to you and says, do you have Srimad Bhagavatam? Anyway, long story short. Half hour later, I was minus $10,000 in today's financial equivalent. Just like you're trying to build a new center development here. So they were trying in New York. So she said to me, wait a minute. How do you know about Srimad Bhagavatam? I said, lady, I'm not here to answer questions. I just want to know, do you have the book or do you not? But she was expert. She wouldn't let me get away. She said, you know, we're trying to make a new center in New York. It'll be wonderful for a person like you. It'll have everything you want. Cafe, theater, library, auditorium. Someone like you can come and go. I said, oh, that sounds good. Come and go. So she said, surely you can give a donation. I said, I don't have any money. I never give donations. She said, you don't have any money? So where'd you go to school? I told her. She said, well, if you're not rich now, you're going to be. You can give a donation. I tried to get rid of her. She said, you know the value of these books. You told me you read these books 3 hours a day for 6 months straight. Don't you want to help others to come in contact with these books? I said, I'll leave the money to you in my will. She said, what 21-year-old has a will? Of course I didn't have a will. Finally, I said the ultimate. I knew this would get me off the hook. I said, I would give you some money, but it's all it's at my father's house. She looked at me and said, let's go. Oh, no. I'm going to go with this strange-looking lady wearing a bedsheet with a mark on her forehead. I'm going to go with her to my father's house. But I couldn't get rid of her. So we got on the subway and went up to where my father lived. He was on the 14th floor. I told her, you stay down at the ground level. I don't want anyone in my family seeing you. So I went up, came down with, in today's financial equivalent, a check for $5,000. She took it very nicely and said, thank you so much, but I'm sure you can give 10. I said, I'm 21 years old. I just graduated from university. I've given you a check for $5,000 and now you want 10. I couldn't get rid of her. So I went back up on the elevator to my father's flat, came down with a check for $10,000, ripped up the other check. I thought, that's that. But she didn't even have the books. She didn't have Srimad Bhagavatam. The next weekend, I was passing through the same bus terminal to visit some friends at Yale who were still studying, who hadn't graduated. And she saw me. She and her other devotee friend saw me. There he is! There he is! I said, oh, no. But they surrounded me. Gave me some prasadam. And said, surely this weekend you can give another donation. I tried to get away. I tried. I had read too many of Prabhupada's books, 3 hours a day for 6 months. My protests were very weak. They said, let's go back up to your father's house. So I went back up to my father's house, came down with a check for another, in today's financial equivalent, another $10,000. So she looked at me and said, you know, you've given so much money, $20,000, you might as well come to the temple and see where all your money is going to. I said, that sounds like a good idea. I want to see where my money has gone to. So that's how I started going to the temple. I was very nervous going to the temple. I had no idea what to expect. I thought maybe they're just all hippies. From 2 streets away, I could smell the incense in the air. As I got closer, I could hear. I didn't know what to expect, what planet I would land on. And then I walked up to the front door, very nervous, opened the door, and there was Chandrasekhar, who the drama was about. I opened the door, and there he was, tall and glowing. He said, welcome, brother, you've come to the right place. All my anxiety disappeared. So I wanted to understand, what is real pleasure? I was a New Yorker. New Yorkers think they know all about pleasure. But if I know all about pleasure, Why is my life so incomplete? All the so-called pleasure disappears so quickly. So in the graduate studies of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, there it's explained that only two kinds of people can be happy in this world. Would you like to know those two kinds? The only ones that can be happy in this world? Let's see what category, which one you're in. The first category. Raise your hands if you're in this category. The completely self-realized enlightened being. Raise your hands. Beyond all material influence, totally situated in your spiritual identity. Who's here in that category? All right, let's try the next category. Remember, only two types of persons can be happy in this world. I don't think you want to be in the next category. The complete materialistic fool. I am this body. Enjoy while you can. There's no tomorrow. Like what you saw in the drama. Get it while you can. Hey, everybody, let's have some fun. You only live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. Let the good times roll. Work hard. Enjoy. Work hard. Enjoy. What they call in the Western world the party animal. Anyone here in that category? Don't raise your hand. So what to do? You're not in the self-realized, completely enlightened category, and you're not in the work and party hard animal category. So where are we? Bhagavatam says everyone else has to be in some anxiety. You're in the middle. You're not smart enough to be completely enlightened, and you're not dumb enough to be a work and party animal. So you're in the middle, and therefore there must be anxiety. So how to become smart enough? I don't think you want to become dumb enough. We need the wisdom that the reservoir of all pleasure gives. So briefly, what is the problem with material pleasure? It's a mental idea. The so-called material pleasure appears and disappears like lightning. Now, what is the current material analysis of material happiness? Behavioral scientists will say 50% of your so-called happiness is all genetic. Based on your genetic makeup, you have a genetic set point of happiness. Therefore, it's, according to this theory, which is widely accepted, you're born with a gloomy disposition or a cheery disposition or in between. So 50% of your happiness is already decided by your genes, so the theory says. And then 10% is based on your circumstances, your demographic, ethnicity, health, location, things that can easily be changed. Your gender, that's 10%. Your circumstances, demographic circumstances, residential circumstances. That leaves a window of 40%. And that 40%, they say, is based on your activities. But 60% you can't deal with. Now, what does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains you have a window of opportunity of 100%. Because you're not the body, you're not the mind. So you have a wide open window of 100% beyond your genetics, beyond your circumstances. That's the kind of knowledge that Lord Krishna gives. So what is more of the problem with material happiness? As many of you already know, it is insubstantial, insignificant, yet insatiable. It can't be satisfied, even though it's so insignificant. You can't stop trying for it unless your life is on a higher level. Higher level means higher knowledge. Higher knowledge leads to higher lifestyle. Higher lifestyle leads to higher experience. So Krishna is not talking religious belief. How many of you have found the verse in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, just believe in me? Have any of you seen that verse? It's not there. Krishna doesn't want your religious belief. But everywhere in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna presents, here is the process for how to be genuinely happy, how to have genuine pleasure, how to connect to me, to Krishna. So many places where I speak, at so many universities, ashrams, corporate sector, what have you. They think Krishna is a belief. But nowhere in Bhagavad Gita does Krishna use that word. Believe in me, please, believe in me, please, believe in me. Do you believe in me? Everywhere in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna asks, always think of me, become my devotee, offer everything to me, and gives you the process how to do that. And explains, if you do it, here are the results. If you don't do it, here are the results. In other words, Krishna is inviting you into the bhakti laboratory. But we have a problem. We have a problem with mental concoction. Dreams, false dreams of pleasure and happiness. We think we know what we want. The first step in self-realization, the first step in real enlightenment is to understand you don't know what you want. You have so many false ideas downloading into your mind. So that's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains when you are free from all mental concoctions of what you think pleasure is. What's the proof that it's a mental concoction? It's gone. Here today, gone tomorrow, leaving you frustrated. And then you give up the present body and have no idea what comes next. What kind of life is that? So the truly intelligent person wants to understand, am I this body? Am I the mind or something beyond the body and mind? I'm a conscious being. What am I connected to? What is the supreme consciousness? I'm tiny, minute consciousness. What about the unlimited consciousness? I want pleasure. What's the source of all pleasure? I have limited pleasure, for which I have to struggle so hard. What about, is there someone with unlimited, infinite pleasure? And then we say, no, that can't be. My pleasure is so insubstantial, so tiny, no one else can have any real pleasure. This is our envy. That's why a number one disease of material life is envy of Krishna. Because Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. We think, let us reduce Krishna to a religious belief. In that way, we don't have to face the fact that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Because we're all about ourselves. I am the enjoyer. I shall have pleasure. So in this way, we waste our life chasing insignificant hopes for pleasure. And we pass that down to whom? We pass those dreams down to our children. In the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, what does the 5-year-old perfect bhakti yogi, Prahlad Maharaj, say about this process of passing down concoctions, false dreams from one generation to the next? He says, Puna punas charvana charvananam, chewing that which has already been chewed. And we call that civilization. You can just visualize yourself saying to your children, I have chewed this thoroughly, now I pass it over to you. That's what we do, and we hand down from generation to generation the foolish process of material indulgence. So we were speaking in the beginning about how the younger generation today, those between 20 and 30 years old, have so many problems, mental breakdown. Just like in the USA, the top medical official has said there's a youth mental health epidemic. Those between the ages of 18 and 30 are loaded with mental anxiety disorders, depression. Then let's look at the UK. Maybe it's different. What's the loneliest group in the UK? The loneliest age group? You would think those who are old. They don't have their children at home. Their children have forgotten them. It's not the elderly. The loneliest group in the UK are those between 18 and 30. The loneliness problem was so bad, the government, just like you have Minister of Defense, Minister of Agriculture, in the UK they established a Minister of Loneliness. So what are you going to do that's different? You're from the land of Dharma. You have that great fortune. Yes, I'm from New York. Yes, I'm from top of the Ivy League, but you have much greater fortune. What will you do with it? You can understand the real treasure. The source of all pleasure. So my final words to you are, don't settle for insignificant material, so-called satisfaction, which is helping no one. You can't be satisfied in that way, just like a fish cannot exist outside of water. You need connection to Krishna, the source of all pleasure. To waste our life on the hunt for false pleasure is a tragedy. So remember, the only two types of persons who can be happy in this world: the self-realized, enlightened being, fully situated on the spiritual platform, and the complete materialistic fool. Everyone else in between, because we're not smart enough and not dumb enough, we must be in anxiety. That anxiety is resolved through bhakti. When the minute particle of consciousness that we are connects to the supreme consciousness in pure love. That's the greatest wisdom, the greatest culture, the greatest treasure for the world. Thank you very much. So maybe we can have questions. Questions, all right.
Anyone has question can raise their hand. I will raise the mic to them.
When you were in US, at that time one famous person also was so much popular. So what's your opinion on him? Also Rajneesh.
He's saying when you were in America, that time there was one famous person from India, Yogi, Osho. What is your opinion about him?
He was more into materialized happiness.
He was totally against the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Fortunately, I had nothing to do with him by Prabhupada's mercy. He taught that to reach the higher self, you must totally burn out the lower self. So act like an animal, and then your humanness will come out. Act like an animal, and you'll simply be an animal. But fools believed him. So fortunately, I never had any contact with such a rascal. I had the genuine opportunity to be with someone genuine, directly from the spiritual world, His Divine Grace. Calcutta personality, Srila Prabhupada. Anything else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I have two questions. The one is like we mostly talk about this life, afterlife, or mostly we talk about death. We talk about Krishna, we talk about demigods, but no one talks about like what happened when we go to sleep, because that is also kind of short death.
What happens when we go to sleep?
Yes. And because...
Let me explain. There is the night dream and there is the daydream. When you go to sleep, you forget your present body and you dream that you are Prime Minister of India. And then the alarm clock sounds, you wake up. But do you actually wake up? No, you change from the night dream to the daydream. I am a this, I am a that. I am IIT student. I am IT person. This is my family. But when you go to sleep at night, you forget all about your family. So there's the night dream and the daydream. Both are mental productions. Actually, our whole material project is a dream. How do we realize all this? It sounds impossible, doesn't it? How do we get in touch with our real life as part of Krishna? That's why the Maha Mantra is so important. It took me many months to start chanting Hare Krishna. I was very skeptical. New Yorkers think they know everything. I had read the books 3 hours a day for 6 months straight, but still was not chanting. Finally, after I donated so much money, I went to the temple, and then they encouraged me to start chanting. Do you know how I started to chant the Hare Krishna mantra? japa practice? 1 bead a day. Not 1 round, 1 bead a day. So I like to explain that if there's hope for me, there's so much more hope for you. Any other questions? Ladies, you're allowed to ask questions.
Maharaj, the second question.
But let's see if someone else has.
Anyone else has question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Sada Pranam. I have a question that how to control a mind? How can we control the mind?
Very important question. Impossible without the Maha Mantra. Because for so many lifetimes, the mind has been here, there, and everywhere. And so much has been downloaded into your mind. So much concoctions. There must be an efficient process for cleansing the mind. That's the real career in life. Because if you can cleanse your mind and connect it to Krishna, then your life becomes successful. You don't have to hunt for pleasure. So please take up the daily chanting of the Maha Mantra. You can do better than I did. You can do better than 1 bead a day, can't you?
Anyone else?
Right there.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. My question regarding not Bhagavad Gita, it's regarding Mahabharata. There is a belief that keeping the Mahabharata book into our home attracts misery in our life. Is that true? What's your opinion regarding this? Can you please explain?
Having Srimad Bhagavatam in your home brings the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna.
And what about this Mahabharata book?
Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of Krishna. Go for it. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. My question is that how do we keep ourselves away from distractions?
A daily practice of chanting Hare Krishna is necessary. Otherwise, there's no hope against the massed weapons of distraction. You're fighting a helpless battle without the Maha Mantra. That sound vibration of the Maha Mantra connects you to Krishna and cleanses the consciousness of all the artificial desires. All right? I'm glad you're concerned about that.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for the wonderful class. The question I wanted to ask, like many of our friends are very heavily on the materialistic side that they don't want to even attend the spiritual classes. Like they think this is a waste of time, feel like donating some money to the poor people that will please the God the most. Like instead of just giving them some prasad or like prasad, is there any way that we can connect them and get them to connect more and take more and more input of devotional services?
Get whom?
Or like friends who are like very more into materialistic side, very heavily into that.
You have to be very patient and tolerant. Have a strong desire in your heart to give Krishna to others. And gradually Krishna will give you the intelligence what to do. But first there must be a strong desire in the heart. Tomorrow is Advaita Acharya's appearance day. We'll be talking more about this tomorrow. How to have a strong desire in the heart and then act on that. So while you're doing your studies, while you're at work, while you're at home, while you're in the ashram, always think how to ease the suffering of others by giving them the real solution, connection to Krishna. By Prabhupada's mercy, I finally understood the solution to all the world's problems. I've had the finest education in the world, but they gave me no solutions. By Srila Prabhupada's grace, I'm able to be before you today and offer real knowledge, a real lifestyle, real experience. I remember right before I graduated, my last week at Yale, I went to see my dean of studies, and I told him point blank, I don't see much future for myself in materialistic society. He looked at me straight in the eye and said, "You are a Yale man. You will influence the world." Maybe he was right. But not in a way that he thought. So many graduates of Yale have gone on to highest positions. The current vice president of the USA and his wife, they're both Yale. Bushes were Yale. Both Clintons were Yale. But I have it better because of Prabhupada's mercy. I have the best knowledge. I have the best lifestyle. I have the best present and the best future. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. What comes next? One last question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. One question I am having. Like India has been the home of many more divine souls. But why we are still behind from the whole country? Like Western country are so many developed.
Yes, so much developed mental problems.
Yeah, I'm understanding your point of view, but my point is, in the terms of GDP, in the terms of weapons, in the terms of money, they are more developed. Like
in terms of everything except knowing what they are, who they are.
Correct.
All right. So think about that. They know everything except what they should know.
Okay.
They know how to blow up the whole planet. But they don't know what is consciousness.
Okay.
Think about it.
Sure. Thank you so much. And one thing, like, what is your message to our governing leaders, top leaders?
What is my message?
To our top leaders for the India.
Read Bhagavad Gita as it is and distribute it throughout India, throughout the world.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I saw one photo that I'll never forget. It was maybe 2 years ago. Your Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, was visiting Korea. And some ISKCON devotees of Korea went to see him, and he received them. And one of them, most of the group of ISKCON devotees, they were from India, but there was one Korean Bhakta. And he presented Modi with a Bhagavad Gita as it is. And I saw the look on Mr. Modi's face. A Bhakta? A Korean Bhakta? Now I've seen everything. So that is Prabhupada's mercy. Nectar, wisdom, real wealth for the whole world. So yes, let there be sustainable economic progress, but that can never happen when the mind and senses are uncontrolled. You can never have sustainable economic development. So first there must be the wisdom, the dharma. Then there can be artha, prosperity. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
15 or 20 minutes.
Hare Krishna. So let us all thank His Holiness Devamrita Swami Maharaj for his very, very insightful and thought-provoking session, teaching us what is true pleasure and how do we find it and where do we find it, by very loudly chanting 3 times Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, and with a loud round of applause. Loud, more loud. So thank you. So in the divine association of Maharaj, we have actually embarked on our divine journey. That journey which can actually lead us to true fulfilling and unending pleasure, which we are all actually looking for time immemorial. But to take us ahead in this divine journey, we have come up with a series of 6-session course based on Bhagavad Gita by the name Discover Yourself. So these sessions will be based on Bhagavad Gita, and this will be teaching us how do we actually go more deeper into the principles which Maharaj has just taught us, and how do we make them into some practical steps. In this world, to find inspiration is something very difficult. But now that we have got inspiration in his divine association, we need to turn this inspiration into some tangible, quantifiable steps so that that inspiration becomes a valuable asset of our life and stays with us forever. So this is the time to take this commitment, or to take this step of being a part of this course called as Discover Yourself. So as you can see over the screen, this so this is a 6-session course on Bhagavad Gita, Discover Yourself. So this will be held at on every weekend for 6 consecutive weeks at these very premises by those who have been practicing Bhagavad Gita in their life and found how it has made a positive transformation in their life. So we have the registration counters which will be there at behind. Okay, so before we go there is a small video which actually gives a glimpse of these sessions. So we'll walk you through that video, a short video. So how many of you are excited to be a part of this journey? So we will be having this sessions at this very premises on weekends, at 6 consecutive weekends. So these sessions will be comprising of a PowerPoint presentation systematically on Bhagavad Gita, followed by mantra meditation and a very wonderful dinner prasadam. So there is a registration fees for this session, for this course. So for corporates, it is just 250 rupees, and for students, it is just 100 rupees. And along with this registration, you will also get a complimentary copy of Bhagavad Gita, so the English version of it. So, post this announcement, so we will be going through a wonderful kirtan session that will be led by His Holiness Devamrita Swami Maharaj. So, so after the kirtan, we will have this, throughout the kirtan, we will have this QR displayed over here. So you can, whoever is interested, you can scan this QR and get yourself registered. And once you have yourself registered, you can show the registration successful message at the counter. Then they will give you a copy of Bhagavad Gita. So thank you very much for, yes, after the kirtans. So please be seated by, right, as of now, please be seated so that we can have the kirtan session. So all of you can stand up. So we'll have the chairs taken to the back so that we can fully participate freely.
Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama
Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol
Gaur Premanande
Hari Bol
Gaur Premanande Hari Bol Gaur Premanande Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
His Holiness Devamrita Swami Maharaj ki Srila Prabhupada ki Thank you very much.